Some summertime fun and a cut on her leg. That's how it all started. A cut that was enough for flesh-eating bacteria to actually invade 24-year-old Amy Copeland's body. The University of West Georgia graduate student is now clinging to life in critical condition. By the time doctors realized what was happening, well, the flesh-decaying infection had already devoured her leg muscles, and it was creeping to other parts of her body. So surgeons were forced to amputate Amy's leg all the way up to her hip and remove parts of her abdomen. But here's the thing. Amy was just doing what a lot of us do on a nice day, spending time with friends on a kayaking trip. In this case, Amy was playing around the Little Tallapoosa River, Carrollton, Georgia. That's about 50 miles west of Atlanta. She had hopped on a homemade zip line that snapped. Amy fell and she cut her calf. And that's when the whole nightmare began. Senior medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen joining me now with more. So a lot of us are put in that position, right? We go to the lake, we go to the river, we swim, we have fun. That's what you do in the summer, the spring. How do you even comprehend what happened, and how do you avoid something like that?
And you know what? 99.9% of us are just fine. This is an incredibly rare thing that happens. Amy has necrotizing fasciitis, which is otherwise known as flesh-eating bacteria. And not only does she have that, unfortunately she has it from, the infection is from a bacteria that loves the water. It's called Aeromonas hydrophila, and it is particularly virulent. I mean, once it gets in you, it spreads very, very quickly. So she has an especially bad form of the flesh-eating bacteria. And as you said, she's in critical condition. You just never think this kind of thing can happen. And again, it's rare, but unfortunately, 25% of people who get this disease die from it.
Okay, so let's say our kids have some sort of scrape or wound. Do you just stay out of waters that aren't clean?
No, I mean, I don't think that's the solution. I mean, people go swimming in, I mean, I know lots of people who've gone swimming in that, you know, in that river. I mean, I don't think that that's so much the issue. You keep an eye on it. So anytime your child has a cut, you keep an eye on it. Most of the time it's going to heal just fine. But if it starts looking a little red, a little swollen, a little out of the ordinary, then you should start thinking, is this something that I should really be paying attention to?
So could this have been prevented then?
Well, you know, it did
possible?
take several visits to the doctor. It took about 4 visits to the doctor for this to be diagnosed. As a matter of fact, at one point she went to the doctor in terrible pain, and they gave her a painkiller and sent her home, which sounds terrible, but this can be really hard to diagnose. So I want to talk a little bit about how to be an empowered patient and how to separate, because all of us get cuts, right?
And parents get worried. They're going to see this story and they're going to freak out if their kids are anywhere near a lake or a river.
So what you look for is something unusual. For example, if your child, or if this happens to you, disproportionate pain. And what I mean by that is extremely painful. I mean, by the time she went to the hospital that last time, she had to be carried in. She was so in so much pain. So terrible pain, and maybe not just where the cut is, but in that whole region of the body. You're always sore from a cut, but really, really sore is what we're talking about. The other thing that you want to look for is flu-like symptoms, fever and weakness. If you've got a cut that's not looking great, even if it looks okay, and all of a sudden there's fever and weakness, that's something you want to bring to the attention of a doctor. And also swelling. Swelling is another thing to look for. You're not necessarily going to have all of these things, and you know what? The disproportionate pain is really the one to look for. But if you go to CNN.com/empoweredpatient, you can find out more about this disease.
All right, Elizabeth, thanks so much. Thanks.